Imagine pulling into your family's Texas ranch after a 12-hour drive, bone-tired, dreaming of a cold beer and silence only to see cop lights flashing and some HOA queen bee screaming, "Arrest him, he's trespassing." That's how I met Linda Carter, Pine Valley's resident dictator, strutting across my lawn like she owned it, smirking as she told the cops I didn't belong on my own damn property. I'm Matt Sullivan, and for 15 years, I've made a living in D.C. putting corrupt HOA presidents like her behind bars, 200 and counting, their photos lining my office wall. Linda, with her power suit and personal vendetta, just started a war she was never gonna win. It was 9 p.m. when I rode into the ranch, my granddad Henry's old place, where I used to fish with my dad as a kid. I was running on fumes after busting a shady HOA in Seattle, just wanting a week of peace. But before I could even unpack, 2 cops were in my face, hands on their guns, saying they got a call about a break-in. I showed them the deed on my phone comm, hands up, no sudden moves. "This is my family's land, officers, since '52. The older cop, Ramirez, checked it and nodded. "You're good, sir." But Linda, oh, she wasn't done. She marched up, perfume hitting me like a slap, and hissed, "You're Jack Sullivan's son, aren't you? Your dad ruined my family 20 years ago. You've got 72 hours to get out, or you'll regret it." Her smile was pure poison, and I knew this wasn't just about my ranch. This was personal. By morning, my porch was buried under 47 violation notices, orange papers whining about my grass being half an inch too tall, my mailbox the wrong shade of beige, even a $200 fine for visible coffee mug on porch. I laughed, picturing Linda creeping around at 2 a.m. with a ruler, but the last note stopped me cold. Handwritten, it read, "Matt, sell. 70 hours. My buyers are waiting. Carter." Then the kicker, Judge Thompson sends his regards. That name rang bells. Thompson's a county big shot, dodged 3 HOA corruption probes I'd flagged in D.C. If Linda had him, this was bigger than a grudge, it was a racket. My neighbor Sarah Miller slipped over at dawn, nervous, clutching a folder. "Matt, Linda's not just me, she's dangerous," she whispered, handing me years of dirt, photos of trashed yards, list of neighbors bankrupted by fines, a spreadsheet showing Linda targeting anyone who dared vote against her. She drove my friend Tom out over a $50 fee. His cat vanished the next week. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number, "Keep talking to Sarah, and she's next." 46 hours. That's when I called Rachel Torres, my lawyer and HOA busting partner. "Matt, you're on vacation," she groaned. "Not anymore, Rachel. They're coming for my dad's land." Game on. Day 2, I baited Linda, measuring my illegal mailbox in plain sight. Sure enough, her golf cart screeched up, and she hopped out, HOA polo stashed to perfection. "Any changes need board approval, Matt. Next meeting's in 6 weeks." I grinned, waving the tape measure. "Funny, Linda, my mailbox checks out. But your 2 a.m. grass measurements. Tough to see in the dark, huh?" Her eyes narrowed, voice dropping. "You're just like your dad, too smart for your own good. He had a weak heart, didn't he? Stress is a killer, Matt." The threat hung there, and I felt my blood boil. She was talking about my dad's heart attack 5 years ago, the one we thought was natural. Something wasn't right. That night, I found my grandma's rose gardener Irish pride, passed down from her mom dead, the soil reeking of herbicide. My cameras caught it, Linda's husband, Greg, spraying at 3 a.m., her voice on his phone, "Just the old roses, Greg. Wear the oversized shoes." It was surgical, meant to gut me. I saved the footage and called Rachel. "We've got vandalism, conspiracy, maybe worse." But the real twist came from Sarah's folder. Buried in her notes was a name, Emma Grayson, a retired clerk who'd worked for Judge Thompson. Sarah said Emma had debt on Linda's land grabs but was too scared to talk. I tracked her down at a diner, her hands shaking as she slid me a USB drive. Linda and Thompson, she whispered. They've been forcing foreclosures, buying up land cheap for resorts. Your dad stopped their first deal 20 years ago. They never forgave him. By hour 48, Linda called an emergency HOA meeting to save Pine Valley from my ranch's health hazards. The community center was packed, the air heavy with fear. Linda stood at the podium, Judge Thompson glowering in the front row, as she flashed fake photos of my property leaking pipes, invented mode. Mouth septic tank is poisoning our kids, she cried, voice thick with crocodile tears. Half the room bought it, the other half looked trapped. Sarah signaled me to wait. I stepped forward, voice cutting through the murmurs. Nice slides, Linda, but you forgot the part where you poisoned my grandma's roses at Greg's 3 a.m. Trespassing. The room buzzed. Linda snapped, you're out of order. Thompson stood, back in, sit down, son. I smiled. Judge, you here for every HOA meeting, or just the ones where you're pocketing the profits? I played Emma's USB Linda and Thompson plotting, laughing about my dad's weak heart. The crowd gasped. Linda's face drained of color. She tried a Hail Mary, waving a forged $300,000 lien from 2003, claiming my dad owed the HOA. I held it up, calm as ice. Solid try, Linda, but my dad was in Iraq in 2003. Your notary seals from 2006. Papers from 2008. Whoops. Rachel walked in with FBI agents, and Linda's world collapsed. Gentlemen, I said, she's all yours. The next day, Thompson hit back hard, froze my accounts, filed lawsuits, pushed to condemn my ranch. But I had a crypto stash and a secret weapon, Jamal Reed, my forensic accountant. He tore through the HOA's books, finding $900,000 in fake payments to Thompson's shells. Then Greg flipped, handing over recordings of Linda admitting she'd poisoned my dad with digitally small doses in his coffee, her heart attack special. My dad was murdered, and she'd been gloating for years. In federal court, Judge Vasquez, a no-nonsense legend, had it all. Rachel laid out the case: racketeering, fraud, murder. Linda's recorded confession played, a little digitalis, and the heart quits. No autopsy, just another old guy gone. I took the stand, voice steady. I run the National HOA Oversight Division. Linda didn't just run an HOA, she ran a crime syndicate. Linda's final words sealed her fate. Glaring at me, she spat, you ruined me, just like your dad. At least I got to watch him die. Vasquez's ruling was brutal, all HOA liens voided, stolen homes returned, Linda and Thompson facing life. The courtroom roared, but I just watched Linda, her empire ash. I bought her house, her fortress, and turned it into the Henry Sullivan Community Center, a beacon for fighting HOA abuse. Pine Valley bloomed without her, gardens grew, kids drew chalk art, Tom put up 6 bird feeders just to flex. But as I stood in my restored rose garden, holding my dad's old photo, my phone buzzed. A text from Colorado, Matt, Linda mentored my HOA board. We're in deep. Help. Was it a new fight or a trap? If you've ever tangled with an HOA tyrant or a small-town bully, drop your story below. Did Linda deserve her fall, or did I push too hard? Tell me, because justice isn't just winning, it's making sure the next guy doesn't lose.